Hey there, welcome to the fifth dimension. I'm your girl Cerise and I'm here for you today. We're going to talk about bossy people. I am not one of those people that like bossy people. I don't like to have them around me. And I bet you know the type. They always got a better idea, always got a suggestion, always trying to guide your life like it's a GPS they programmed. And sometimes when you don't take their idea, they get a little bit stank because they can't control you and boss you around. But guess what? Even if they mean well, that energy can seriously mess with your peace. So let's break down why it's okay, even necessary, to create distance, protect your spirit, and take your power back. Grab your fork because you're going to dish into this with me right now. Let's get clear. Not all leadership is bossy, and I want to make that a point because being assertive is not the same as being controlling. Bossy people operate from a place of dominance, not collaboration. They don't just offer suggestions. They expect compliance. They don't ask, hey, what do you think? They say, here's what you need to do. And when you push back or choose your own path, oh, sweetie, it comes back to you like a guilt trip. You know, the shade starts to come in, or the silent treatment. Their whole entire personality changes because you are not playing along with what their idea of what needs to happen is. Yeah, you know, a lot of the times it's disguised as, I'm just trying to help. You hear that? You ever hear that before? But it's really about control. It's about them being uncomfortable unless they feel like they're steering the ship. Yeah, and it's not even their boat. And now let's talk about what that energy does to you. You may start doubting your own judgment. You may hesitate before making decisions because you're worried about what they'll say. You feel anxious in their presence, like you're constantly being evaluated or corrected. And you could even start making moves that aren't true to you just to avoid conflict. Because, sweetheart, that is called spiritual suffocation. And when you have someone around your energy that starts doing that, asking why you're doing something which you know is right, that's maybe going to help you and them, and they are over, micromanaging and telling you that you need to get this done and that done, that is your spirit feeling like, crying out. It's suffocation. Even if they're a good person, even if they love you, even if you feel small around them, even if they're a good person, they could be a really nice person and mean well, mean very well. Even if they love you, if you feel small around them, that's a problem. If you feel like you have to over-explain yourself all the time, that's a problem. This is how confidence gets chipped away. One little, you should do it this way, at a time. It creates mental tension, emotional exhaustion, and worst of all, it makes you doubt your own inner compass. That is where you gotta be careful. It's time to break, but they mean well. Spell. The spell, they mean well. Oh, I'll just deal with it. They mean well. Yes, intentions matter, but the impact of their intentions matter more. Listen, if you have two kids playing around, one kid is older than the other one and keeps knocking the smaller one down. They're playing, right? They're playing. You may say, oh, they're only playing, but they're still playing rough. And the younger one keeps getting knocked down and the younger one keeps crying. You gotta tell the older one, hey, calm down a bit. play nicer. And that's what this is all about. You see, bossy people often come wrapped in love. It's the mom, the friend, the mentor personality. They'll say to you, oh, I just like to take care of people. People who've been there and seen things. They think they're saving you from yourself, or they got the hang of it. Now they're going to take over. Even if it's something that you taught them, even if it's something that you got the hang of, and now they think they got the hang of it, and they're just going to bulldoze it now. They think they're saving you from yourself, but really, they're just inserting their version of life onto yours. And you're over here second guessing your divine path because someone who loves you made you feel like you don't know what you're doing. Love is not domination. Support doesn't sound like you need to. It sounds like, how can I support your vision? Bossy energy causes what I call inner erosion. Little by little, it wears you down. You don't even notice it at first. And then suddenly, boom, you don't speak up as much, or you just get annoyed. You stop asking for what you want because you don't feel like you want to go up against a brick wall all the time. You're constantly editing yourself to keep the peace. Or you just come straight out and you just tell them how it is, and you say it without holding your tongue, and all of a sudden their feelings are hurt and they gaslight you. You might even start feeling like you're not capable of handling your own life if this person is really entrenched in your world, like a lover or somebody who you live with, never mind someone who you may be doing business with. But here's the kicker. They usually don't even realize they're doing it. Yeah, bossy people, they'll just say, I care though. But when you set boundaries, what happens? Again, they feel attacked because bossy people thrive when you stay small. They don't always mean harm. Most times they don't. But that doesn't mean they can't cause harm. Remember, they can cause harm just by trying to tell you that what you're doing doesn't sound right. And when they speak up for themselves, I don't want to do that. They know what they don't want to do. They know what they're not going to do, So what do you do when the bossy one is someone you care about, right? You may be asking that. Well, you may have to love them from a healthy distance. Yeah. You stop inviting them into your decision-making space. You stop explaining yourself. You start saying things like, thanks for the input, and then doing exactly what aligns with you. Some of their input may be amazing, and you just say, hey, thanks for your input. I really appreciate that. But don't take their input just because. Look at them and say, thank you for your suggestion. And you do need to cut the cord between their voice and your self-worth. Boundaries don't make you a mean person. Boundaries don't make you stubborn. You are allowed to protect your peace, and even from well-meaning people. At the end of the day, you've got to choose your peace over their comfort. Even if they were a friend, even if you were doing business together, even if there's somebody who you started to date, but then you're like, no, I can't do this. I got to back off. Not everyone deserves a front row seat and front row access to your journey in life. If you know that you are at the end of the line, the end of your rope, don't keep pulling and pulling. Just say, hey, I got to give up and try another route. Just because someone is smart, loving, and full of advice doesn't mean they get to override your intuition. Your life is not a group project. You don't need permission to follow your own knowing. It's okay to say, I love you, but I trust me more. Because your soul didn't come here to be micromanaged. You came here to lead, to explore. And anybody who can't respect that can respectfully take several steps back. So here's your reminder from the fifth dimension. Cut the cords, reclaim your energy, and walk in your knowing. Even if you gotta walk alone for a while, you got this. You been got this. I've had to do it before. I've had to cut people off where I think they're too bossy or their energy around me is just not helping me grow, or they are sucking the life out of me because of their negative energy. The way they respond, the way they snap back. You say something and they're like, yeah, well, what about this? And what about, oh my gosh, don't do that to me because I will end a friendship quickly. And then the person will go and talk and they'll go tell everybody else, gossip, try to turn people against you. But you know what? The truth always comes out and everybody will always see that that person was the difficult one because your true personality will shine through. I love you so much. Thank you for joining the fifth dimension. Have yourself an amazing day. Be good to yourself out there. Remember, tomorrow is not promised, so make the best of today. Enjoy.